All right, thanks for clicking on the video. I just picked this watch up. As you could see by the title, it's a new watch day. I picked this up a few hours ago from my local AD, Creations Fine Jewelers here in Napa, California. If you are looking for any kind of watches, jewelry, anything like that, Brian is the owner. He has been a good and dear friend of mine for several years since I've been buying watches and jewelry there. What I did just pick up was from Omega. He is an Omega dealer. He is a Tissot dealer, and all the other jewelry lines, which I'm not into all the jewelry stuff for the most part. So I really just know about his watches. But he's got rings and diamonds, and he can make you a ring. He's got the blank stones and like all of that stuff. So he's a full jewelry person. And it's super exciting because they just moved to a new location and they just built the Omega Boutique. And I was able to pick up a watch. And I'll go more into the story when I do the watch video. But I kind of wanted to talk about two things today. One, I'm going to show the watch in just a couple minutes. But I really want to spend some time today looking at the packaging because I kind of feel like the packaging deserves its own video. So that's really what this one's about. So without further ado, here is the actual watch that I picked up. It's in the box, so I'm going to show you that next. It is the Silver Snoopy Award 50th anniversary. Okay. And let's get to the watch, but we'll come back to this package here in a minute because there is obviously more to it. Right? So we're going to take off the top of the box. And what you have here is the front cover folds down, just flops down. You have your book, tells you everything you need to know on how to use the watch. And because it's a chronograph, there are some things to work with it. It does have the actual box that the watch is inside of. Okay. And then what's really kind of cool is underneath here, there is a book of the history, so to speak. I'm not going to open it up all and whatnot, but why Snoopy? It talks about the first, missions, the Silver Snoopy Award. It really goes into a lot of detail as to how and why Snoopy and NASA, and why NASA and Omega. Okay? So very cool. And it's got its own little spot here on the bottom. And it's cool how they put the little ribbon. So you can just push this in and then the ribbon kind of goes up inside and sticks out. All right, so what we really want to talk about, though, is this box. So let me get this one out of the way. And let's just get to the watch really quick for those of you that want to click off of the watch and not care about the packaging. And I will do a full video on the watch later, okay? But here it is in all of its glory. Blue and white. The dial is actually made out of silver, which is kind of cool. And it's got a cool thing on the back. So the Earth is always spinning. But when you start the chronograph, in a second here, you'll see the Lunar Command Module come out. And Snoopy flying along inside. How cool is that? I almost wish there was a way to wear it upside down so that you could just have that going all day. So the Earth is connected to the seconds hand, and the Lunar Command Module and Snoopy are connected to the chronograph. So as the chronograph is ticking away, Snoopy comes out, stop the chronograph, reset the chronograph, Snoopy goes away. The seconds hand is still going, so you will always have the Earth rotating in the back. It's super, super cool. Now it comes on this canvas strap with leather backing. and plastic here for the eyes. I don't want to nitpick. I wish it had a deployant clasp rather than this pin buckle. Okay, a little nitpick. I'm okay with it. I bought it. I need to break this in. It's brand new, so it's really stiff, putting it on and off. All right, so that's the watch itself. I'll go into all the details later, but let's talk about the packaging. If you guys want to know all about some stuff, just stay tuned for a few more minutes, okay? Hopefully I'm not going to disillusion anybody, but the watch actually ships in this box, okay? Which I always thought they shipped in the nice presentation boxes, but they don't. They ship in these boxes that just has, you know, some packaging. It's kind of wrapped around there. It's got plastic on it and all that good stuff. So when you get there to your dealer, and this is for not just this specific Omega, but just in general. Okay, when I bought my white dialed Planet Ocean, also from Brian, I'll put a link to his website down below. It came in like a plastic see-through coffin, not like a white box with a picture on it. It was just kind of a see-through plastic thing that he popped out and he kept. He asked me if I wanted this. I said, absolutely. I'd like to put all my packaging together and keep it for, you know, if I ever go to sell this many years from now, it'll have the packaging, it'll have that other box, it'll have the receipt with it and everything like that. So when you open it up, you have Snoopy here on the top. What could you do in 14 seconds? Because this was from the Apollo 13 mission to the moon. And we've all seen the movie, Houston, we have a problem. So computers all went out, really short story. Ultimately, they had to do a 14-second burn. One of the astronauts had an Omega Speedmaster on his wrist over his spacesuit thing. They used that to time the 14 seconds. And because of that, NASA gave Omega the Silver Snoopy Award, which is kind of synonymous with kind of Smokey the Bear in the forestry department. Silver Snoopy. Snoopy is kind of the safety officer, the safety mascot for NASA. And I'll go into more of that detail because I didn't write down a bunch of notes. I just wanted to get this unboxing kind of video out and explain more of that. So it's got a Velcro closure. It has a handle here. It's kind of like a space briefcase. You know, the astronauts carried their oxygen or whatever they carried, you know, kind of at the bottom of their tube thing. It's kind of like that. It's got this patch embroidered in. Inside, though, so your watch is normally around this. Inside, there is a 10 times loop. And on the loop is a tachyometer around to the outside, if I can get it the right way. This can come out also. I've left it in, but you can use it this way to look through this end and really zoom in on whatever it is you want to see. So you can really see that movement, or not the movement, but you can really appreciate the dial and things like that with this. So that's a cool little added thing. Then, if you pop this open here, you get a microfiber cloth with a Snoopy. So the case, this case kind of is reminiscent of that case they carry, whatever that is exactly. Now, what's also really kind of cool about this is this part comes out. I'll just move this out of the way. And this folds up, so you can put this back in. You can put your watch around it, fold this up, snap it closed, and it's your travel case. That's pretty ingenious. I probably won't use this because I have a smaller kind of travel case for when I do travel, but that's really kind of cool. And then up underneath here, under here is your warranty card, your certificate of authenticity, all of those. There's some plastic cards that come with the watch that signify it's yours versus somebody else. You know, all of that official paperwork, right? So I think the box is just very kind of cool. And then there's just some, you know, paper lining under here. This goes back in. The microfiber goes back in top. This goes back inside here. The top kind of closes, makes it all pretty. And then you go. And then you got some Velcro closures here to go up and around. So I think the packaging itself is super, super, super cool. All right, let me give you a quick wrist shot here. Now that I have spent all of this time. Now I won't, because I'm just going to wear this after. So I will shove it up under here. The keepers, one is fixed, one slides. I'm still trying to figure out which hole. Is this the right hole? It's a little loose for me, but the next hole up is a little tight. So I think once this strap breaks in, it will it'll work great. I have a 7¼ inch wrist. This is a 42 millimeter watch. Yeah, I think it's super cool. Now the lume on it, pretty non-existent. Okay. It's not totally dark in here, but I'm going to turn off the light. I'm going to hit it with the UV light so you can see it's starting to show up some. The hands have lume, and there is little dots on the indices, but it's not great, guys. So, and it fades pretty quick because it's such small little plots around the indices. It's just not going to hold very long. But super cool watch. Super into the Snoopy, into the Peanuts, into all of that. So that's super cool. Charles Schulz actually drew a bunch of this stuff, and I'll get into that more in the next video. So please stay tuned for that. But for now, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, comment Speedmaster or Snoopy. Comment Snoopy down below, just so you got this far. And if anybody's looking for jewelry, Brian over at Creations will ship at least anywhere in the United States, because he shipped to probably 5 or 6 of my friends over the years who have bought watches from him because he's given them about the best pricing you can find, and he'll ship it anywhere in the country. He may ship internationally. I don't know about that, but call up, ask for Brian. He will take care of you. They are great people over there. But I'll link his website and his Instagram and stuff down below, just in case, if you're looking for another watch option. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate you. And stay tuned. I will do a full video giving all of the specs and details and more about the Snoopy NASA Omega partnerships in the next video.